Hi, Andy Holding here with a quick demonstration on how the speed figures work. What I've done, I've chosen two races for you at the Cheltenham Festival where the figures had a huge influence on my final selection process. There's also a link to a video recorded by my colleague Andy Bate, who takes you through a step-by-step guide on each column and the features on the spreadsheet. Before we move on to the explanations, I'd just like to say a big thank you to those that have either subscribed to the service or registered and showed some sort of interest. A big thank you also goes out to those that have taken time out to email us and say how much they are enjoying the service and how the figures have changed the way they think about betting on horses. For those yet to join the service and would like to do so, just go onto the home page and click onto the three easy to follow subscription packages provided by clicking on the subscribe tab. Right, let's go on to those aforementioned races at the Cheltenham Festival. The first comes in the shape of the Supreme Novices Hurdle. My selection on the day was at Somerville. Boys, you can see here he comes out pretty well on the speed figures with a top rating achieved at Sandown of a 70. And that was also highlighted by a true speed figure rating, which means that the final circuit was run in a much quicker time than the other hurdle races on the card, and he was actually minus 1.1 to the next best. He also beat Kalashnikov on that day, as you can see, got beat by 4 lengths, so we gave him a rating of 68. On that basis, I felt as though Somerville Boy, having beaten Kalashnikov under similar conditions, as you can see here, it was heavy, and of course it was heavy at the Cheltenham Festival, he'd had a good chance of upholding the form. And of course he was available back at double the price, even though Kalashnikov had gone on to win subsequently and record a much quicker time. So that was my thought process behind Somerville Boy. And onto the second and final of my selections which I made on the Cheltenham Festival day one. It came in the shape of Mr. Whitaker in the concluding Close Brothers handicap, where as you can see here, he once again comes out really high up on the figures. He was actually the 5th quickest best in, but that run was at Cheltenham on trials day, when he also recorded a true speed figure. Now that time there of being exactly the same speed figure as Frodon obviously meant that he was a particularly well handicapped horse going into the festival compared to one or two of the other novices he was up against. He'd also run well here at Kempton the time before, when he recorded another good speed figure of 68, minus 2.5 in comparison to Mike Bite, and that also added up to him having a huge chance in the final race at the festival on day one. So there you go, there's my two selections and the reasons behind how I came about those selections. Mr. Whitaker there in that final race, and Somerville Boy in the first race. Hopefully these videos will provide you with some sort of insight into how to get the best out of the figures. Obviously a lot of them are down to personal choice, but if any stage you are struggling with all the data we provide, then don't hesitate to drop us an email and we can hopefully assist with any issues you may express. Thanks very much for listening, best of luck and many thanks.